Hello. A bit of a fudge this episode because Prolix Comics Bollocks is going to be about a week late. So I thought I'd put in a little interim solo ramble by myself. But it's not actually about a comic, it's about a book. So it's a bit of a literary aspect crossover. But it is published by a publishing house most well known for comics. So there you are, there's the excuse out the way. Let the celebrations begin. Bleeding Skull, 1990s trash horror odyssey, a sequel to Bleeding Skull 80s trash horror odyssey, which was put out by Head Press, which publishes my nonsense as well. And this is pretty interesting stuff. Kind of a quick, vague idea of what it kind of looks like. It's a very beautifully presented, well put together book, obviously in need of someone with far better presentation skills than my own self. But anyway, so this tome concentrates on straight to video horror obscurities of the 90s, and yeah, real obscurities. I mean, you would have a job tracking some of these down still. You know, some have appeared on YouTube, and it'll be up to you to kind of try and get these for yourself. Maybe some of them might turn up on that Film Crack Rack show. You never know. But it's interesting to me because it's interesting how things that were once considered almost, you know, beneath contempt, once they become finite and there's a gap of time between then and now, they kind of become more interesting. I mean, they still might be crap, but they're vintage crap of a certain era. They're a time capsule, and the better examples, as the writers Joseph A. Zimba and Choi and Zach Carlson point out, you know, they become almost like transmissions from some alternative history of cinema where our frankly quite arbitrary, you know, what's the word I'm looking for, almost over entitled notion of what a film should look like with you know, its gloss and its effects and production values. As much as I enjoy seeing that stuff, I mean, you don't necessarily have to live on a steady diet of that. And sometimes it's a lot more interesting when that stuff is stripped away and you see what people can do with what's left, right? And I have to admit, I've only just started, see from my book, I've only just started actually reading it. So I can't, you know, 100% attest to if it's brilliant writing or not. I mean, I'm sure it's pretty good, but regardless, even if it was garbage writing, and I'm sure it's not going to be from what I've read so far, this is an invaluable guide to yes, a little kind of corner of film connoisseurship, is that a word? Yes, I am naked because I just couldn't wait to jump on here and recommend it to you. And I'm sure it'll be coming up in conversation again and again. So anyway, filling the gap in terms of the YouTube output, and very much filling a gap in terms of cultural see, I'm not the most articulate of men. Cultural coverage, that's not the word. Anyway, you know what I mean. Get it, and also get the old 80s Bleeding Skull Head Press, which is out of print, but I believe you can get a Kindle. Right, that's enough of my rambling. I think you get my point. Put your cinematic snobbery aside, get yourself a copy of Bleeding Skull, and I think you're in for some treats.